I don't think I've ever looked at an extremely wealthy person and thought to myself, damn, I feel bad for them. Until today. I found this absolutely pathetic turbo virgin douchebag on TikTok who apparently has a ton of money, but is extremely insecure, and it just comes across as the saddest shit I've seen in my life. And I thought I'd share at least a little bit of this guy with you.
Alright, so since y'all keep talking shit, I'm going to rub more of my opulent lifestyle in your faces.
This is an actual person, by the way. He looks like Gary Vee going through a phase. This guy looks like a GTA Online character that's being controlled by a 13-year-old, and his house looks exactly the same as that. Like it's an actual middle schooler's fantasy for shit they'd think is cool. He's trying so hard to make it look like he's not trying at all. He's doing that generic rich asshole thing where he just puts a gun out on a counter during his tour. Oh, whoops-a-daisy. How embarrassing. It looks like my AK-47's just sitting out in the open. Oh, goodness gracious. But that doesn't even look like a real AK-47. It looks like a prop. It looks like something he got out of Party City. Shit looks like it's made out of chocolate. It could be real, I suppose, but I think what's more likely there is he asked his mom if he could go buy a gun for his video, and he just went to the nearest Walmart and got whatever toy he could find.
I'm gonna give you a tour of just one room of my grandiose two-story penthouse in paradise. It's basically like Fifth Avenue with one of the best Caribbean Ocean views you'll ever see.
What a lovely picture behind him. An American Psycho reference, obviously, but what an incredible photo shoot. His sister worked really hard that day to set that one up for him. Just to really give the impression to anyone that comes over that this guy has sex, but once you meet him, you'll know for sure he doesn't.
Alright, and for those of you who say I rent my shit, yeah, I'm sure the guy that I rented my place from put these two $50,000 mirrors perfectly aligned on the wall so that I could put a 7-foot self-portrait of myself perfectly in between them.
Yes, this guy's got thousands of fucking self-portraits of himself all over the place. That's his big thing. Just art of himself everywhere. I'm sure his toilet even has pictures of his face on it, so that way he's always eating your ass out. But the thing is, I can't find too much information about how he made his money, so I'm led to believe that he's just a trust fund kid who's grown up but has never really experienced anything in the world, so this is what he thinks is cool. I don't know for sure, because I really thought going into this it was satire, but the more I've watched from this guy, the more I believe that this is just him. This is genuinely what he is and what he's become. Now, admittedly, I didn't look that hard into his background. I just watched his TikToks to laugh at them. So maybe he actually did make money somehow, like scamming through NFTs or crypto or something. It's possible, but I think what's most likely is his money just comes from his parents.
Dumb f***. Look at this. This is 3,000 square feet. One room, 3,000 square feet of pure, chic opulence. That's bigger than most of y'all's houses, I'm sure. Or 3 times the size of mom's basement you live in.
Ooh, hear that, basement dwellers? You just got fucking chatted on a little bit. I also love that he starts this, since you all are talking shit and hurting my feelings, I'm gonna cry on camera by pretending like my life has meaning with this money that I didn't earn. Like, he literally starts the video like, since you're making me feel bad, I'm gonna try and flex, and it still doesn't make me feel any less bad, but maybe it'll make you not feel cool too, asshole.
Look at this. Look at this Calcutta marble. It's 100 G of marble between that wall insulation and my dining table. And that chandelier, that'll run you about the cost of 2 entry-level Mercedes-Benzes. So, if you want to keep talking shit, go ahead. F you. I give 0 fucks.
Yeah, this looks and sounds like a guy who gives 0 fucks. Literally comes on here whining and crying about talking shit so he tries to flex. Yeah, you really don't care, big guy.
Alright, little advice for all you TikTok trolling minion clowns who in your language don't pull. Bitches love hot tubs. Especially decadent ass motherfucking hot tubs like this. Look at this
Yeah, this guy speaks like he just learned what cussing is, and those girls look extremely happy to be there, the way they're just rubbing up all on him. They are enamored right now. They're hypnotized by this man's wealth and suave badassness. That's like his bio. He says how much of a badass he is. It's really pretty embarrassing shit. This man is the embodiment of cringe, if cringe also came with a couple $1 million from daddy. So he keeps suckling on his parents' tits and milking them for all they're worth for these TikTok videos here. And he's obviously paid these women to be here. You can tell by the way they're acting. This isn't like normal. This is a shoot. This is a fucking shoot, and they're paid for like 45 minutes of their time. I always find that to be the most embarrassing shit about these kind of people that try and flex wealth. The women they put in their videos is always very clearly people they have paid to be there. How is that not extremely embarrassing? That you had to pay women to be around you for your videos.
Questioning my legitimacy and overall badassness. So I felt the need, of course, to retort in kind. Right now, I'm sitting on a $12,000 chair.
That's another thing that's always bothered me about these rich people videos, is that they can just make up prices for shit whenever they want, and you have no way of really proving it wrong. But I bet that's not a $12,000 chair that his swamp ass is sitting on. That's probably one of those like really cheap chairs that you can find at Halloween stores once a year that they use for decorations outside.
I'm sitting in front of my mugshot, painted on bullets. It's pretty cool. You may ask yourself, why the does this guy have this? Why does he have it? Well, the answer is number one, because I can, and number two, because I'm badass as I am the game.
My man here is the opposite of the game. This guy had to pay women to be around him. Now, it does look like he has money, so the first one is true. He has it because he can. The second one, though, I don't think there's a single person alive that would consider this guy badass. He is literally crying on TikTok in almost every video about people being mean to him. So his response to that is flexing wealth on him that he may or may not have made himself. Again, I don't know for sure. But that doesn't strike me as something a badass would do. And something that a badass would absolutely never do is call themselves badass as fuck. That's like Borderlands writing. Jesus Christ. Also, you've probably seen the necklace that he's wearing. It says S my C. It's suck my cock. The guy made a custom sterling silver suck my cock necklace. So this is a guy who is beyond insecure. He probably reads every comment, and any one of them that's not sucking his cock is considered a negative comment and probably takes a large toll on his mental health. He is probably not in the right frame of mind to be on TikTok, since most people on there are just making fun of him. It's a really sad thing, honestly. And it just goes to show, maybe money can't buy happiness. That's about it. So yeah. You all know I'm not a big believer in the paranormal. All that hocus pocus and all that mumbo jumbo about ghosts and goblins and ghouls and gnomes and Santa Claus. It's all a bunch of hooey. The only metaphysical conundrum that I believe in is the mystery of why I'm stuck at 5'6". But aside from that, not much else. Though today we're going to be talking about something that's got me scratching at my chinny chin chin here in curiosity, because there is a TikTok time traveler who made a few predictions, and they actually kind of blew up on TikTok. So much so that we had someone come out to the warehouse about 2.5 weeks ago to help fix the air conditioning that was broken. And before leaving, he mentioned to Matt that we need to make sure that we really hunker down, board everything up, and prepare for a Category 6 hurricane that was blowing in about 2 weeks. And Matt was stunned. So Matt sat there like he had just been hit with a fucking flashbang and tear gas at the same time. His brain literally blue screened upon hearing this. A Category 6 is not real. That's never... Category 5 is the highest it goes. So this goes above and beyond. It's going fucking plus ultra. And this guy is claiming that there's one on the way, even though there was no information about that anywhere. So Matt poked a little bit to see where he got it from, and he said a time traveler on TikTok said it. And that's when the light bulb went off in Matt's head. Eureka! He knew it was time to take this seriously now. There was a lot of weight behind this claim. So this is the video that was floating around and actually gaining a lot of steam online. Yes, I am a real time traveler. Here are all of the events to come in the final months of 2023, September. This isn't unusual for TikTok. Every single goofball with a phone likes to pretend that there's some kind of time traveler giving us warnings, and they just make like a ton of fucking outrageous claims. And this one said on September 4th, the first ever Category 6 hurricane occurs. It runs up almost the entire US East Coast, but it mainly affects Florida and both the Carolinas. Now, when Matt told me, I had already told him I knew that, because I am very in touch with the goofy shit that happens online. I had actually already made fun of this video on stream as well. When Matt told me about this, I giggled quite hard. I nearly spit up on myself. I still can't believe that real human beings in the real world will see some shit like that on TikTok and not give an iota of thought to it, and never even have the idea that it could be a lie cross their mind. This is a complete stranger on TikTok claiming to be a time traveler, making outrageous claims, and then some people just pog out to it. and take it at face value, believing it. Like, holy shit, a Category 6 is rolling in, we gotta get fucking prepped. John Titor on TikTok said so. John Connor, Johnny Silverhand, the TikTok time traveler, this asshole said a Category 6 is coming, so it must be true. It's amazing. But the reason that I mentioned this was 2 weeks ago is because fast forward to now, and we had Hurricane Lee forming, and it was a very quick Category 5 and only getting stronger, threatening the East Coast. And a couple days ago, Matt told me, Charles, if this turns out to be right, we're gonna feel real fucking silly for making fun of this. He tried to warn us, but we didn't believe him. And I was actually starting to panic a little bit, thinking the universe around me was crumbling. My understanding of this very dimension we inhabit was starting to be called into question here. Maybe this was the one asshole telling the truth and is somehow an actual time traveler trying to get the message across. And I spit on it. But then it turns out, no, he was completely wrong. He not only predicted the wrong date, but he made like 5 other predictions that are just ridiculous. And also, Hurricane Lee has lost most of its strength. It's still a Category 3 hurricane as of right now. And it's also not going to Florida like the time traveler predicted. I also want to show you the other predictions they made in the same video. They said on September 10th, 20 people are chosen to see the afterlife, to know what it is like when you pass. What does that even mean? Does God hold some kind of reality show competition to choose 20 people to take a peek at heaven? Like, what is this? A deal or no deal situation? 20 people get to take a vacation to the afterlife? Do they come back? Because if not, this is just 20 people dying. And if that's the case, the bigger news on September 10th would have been that only 20 people in the world died. Because I've got news for the time traveler here. There's far more than 20 people seeing what the afterlife is like every single day. So this one, I just don't fucking understand at all. They then say, this makes the entire population to focus on finding a way to live much longer, as less than 5% are happy after. So I guess whatever time that this guy traveled from, they lost the ability to write in proper syntax. This is broken. I can't even deduce what the claim is. So after 20 people take a visit to the afterlife, less than 5% are happy after, and the population focuses on ways to live longer? You mean like what they're doing every single day? Science is constantly striving for ways for people to live longer. And that's without the 20 chosen afterlife spectators. And again, do the people that go to the afterlife come back to tell us about it? Like, what the fuck? Now, the next one is still upcoming, so this one still remains to be seen. But on September 18th, they claim that an invisible wall is put down to surround Mexico and Guatemala. It was put there by a hostile alien species to try and weaken us when they attack. Why? Why would they be putting an invisible wall there? Did they just play a ton of Starfield and see how effective invisible walls were or something? And if they have that kind of technology, why not just put an invisible wall around like pretty much everywhere? Cut everyone off. And also, why even use that in the first place? They also just fucking attack. If they're here, they'll probably beat our ass in an all-out war. The final claim from the time traveler for September of 2023 is on September 23rd, a Spirit Airlines plane crashes in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It actually went through a wormhole where it is 2 seconds to them, 6 years to us, and they return in 2029. Call me crazy, but I highly doubt that last one's happening. But who knows? It still remains to be seen. I really think that this was probably made by a teenager. That whole last section there just feels like it was a piece of his creative writing course for like his English class or something. Which is fine. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. But somehow, we met a person, a real living, breathing human being outside of the internet that believed this shit. Like with the upcoming Category 6 hurricane. So much so that they were trying to tell us that we need to prep for it. I'm assuming they had already started stockpiling like doomsday preppers getting ready for it. And that is tragic. That we've reached the point where people will actually believe anything. Not that I'm surprised. I'm not surprised by it. We see this all the time on Twitter, where people will believe the most outrageous shit without even a single morsel of evidence to support it. But I've just never seen it in the real world. I thought that was mainly brain rot internet brain, but no. This was a seemingly completely normal guy and just happened to really buy into this hype that there was a category fucking 6 hurricane that was coming in like 2 weeks. But you know what? I'm putting the carriage before the horse here. You know, there's still time for some of his other predictions to see if those come true or not. You know, he got a couple of them wrong, sure, but you know, who isn't wrong sometimes? But anyway, I just had to talk about this a little bit. That's it. See ya. This week I saw something so baffling that it's really genuinely making me question if the human brain is devolving, becoming smoother, less wrinkles. It's the case of the TikTok giant. For those that don't know, there was a TikTok creator who filmed a giant, mysterious figure on top of a mountain. Was it Sasquatch? Was it the Loch Ness Monster? Perhaps Goatman? No, he claimed that he had seen a giant. And TikTok absolutely ate that up. They devoured it like it was a full course of spaghetti and meatballs. Not only TikTok though, it then expanded to Twitter, where even more people started to believe that they had just seen irrefutable proof of a giant, because there was something on top of a mountain that was big. This whole thing is like a child believing the tooth fairy's real because when they put their tooth under their pillow, there's a quarter there. It is easily debunked and has been multiple times now, but then they just throw away the truth that's facing them because they prefer to live in the magic of there being giants walking amongst us here. It's a beautiful delusion, albeit very sad too, because people are also convinced that not only was this proof of a giant, it's proof that the CIA murdered the guy for filming the giant. I think people are at this point where they are legitimately believing everything as if we're back in the like actual early ages of humans. I saw on TikTok and Twitter, this blew up. The TikTok giant. God, what was the guy's name though? There was a guy on TikTok who took a video of a mountain and there was a big figure on top of the mountain. It's like, oh shit, it's a giant. And then people believed it. They're like, we've seen the proof, the giants are real. And now the person behind the account's not posting. The person's gone missing. So they're like, the government must have got him and killed him for exposing the truth. It's so fucking crazy how, like, I actually think there have been irreparable damage done to the human brain because of TikTok. These are people, adults, actual adults. You know, why don't I just pull up the Twitter account that was talking about it? Talking about how it's the truth, there was really a giant there, we've known all along, and now that this guy blew the lid on it, the CIA got him and killed him. And then the guy leaned into it, he made this video about how it's all fake and it looked like a hostage video, and they're like, oh my god, irrefutable proof, you can see that the CIA is making him say these things. Where's the original post? Here's the video in question though. Andrew Dawson, thank you. Oh, it's a giant!
Person, dude. No, seriously, pull over, pull over.
I knew they were here. I've known all along the giants existed. They called me a fool. Also, it's dangerous to scroll in the comments, but I'm pretty sure, you know, I'm not even gonna bother with the Council of Cock being down there as a possibility. Someone went on like Google Earth. They went over that mountain and it turns out it's just a tower. It's just legitimately just a tower. But that didn't dissuade the believers. So, what they're saying is they must have built the tower after this video came out in order to hide the truth that there was a giant there. I shit you not. That was their explanation for it being a tower over there. They said that they made it. They put that tower in place in order to obfuscate. But this is what's on the other side. I think the top comment on this is still, the government put that there in order to hide the truth. I'm gambling, but I think I'm right with this. Okay, not the one. You, another person that's trying to keep information no one cares about hidden. Everyone knows it was a giant, everyone still doesn't care. We care about the man being murdered for discovering it, though. We don't trust you. Isn't that crazy? They think the government killed this guy because he caught a video of a giant. That is the human brain in 2023. He did exactly what I told you guys I wanted to do with this whole gullible TikTok brain rot. Remember when I was telling you guys my plan of doing like haunted videos around the warehouse where like chairs move on their own? He did that with this. So after he got that video, he made this video where he leaned into it, exactly what I said I would do in order to farm.
Sorry to disappoint you guys, but all of the videos that I posted were scripted. They were just fake. They were just strictly for it.
So, he leaned into it. He made this video like, it's all fake, you know, this and that, and he made it look like he was under duress. So people are like, clearly the CIA got to him. They're making him say these things. He did every single thing I said I would do with my farming of these fucking idiots. And they believe him fully. They believe he found a giant up here. And then the government killed him. It's so good. We live in an age where everyone has access to a video recording device at all times. Pretty much every nook and cranny of the world's been explored. And a fucking giant would be one of the hardest things to miss. And somehow, this is a confirmed giant. And it's just a coincidence that there happens to be a tower on the other side of this. Wholeheartedly believe it. This isn't even the biggest Twitter thread about it. There was a thread by this lady who's in her early 30s talking about how the government can't be trusted because they're killing us for finding the truth of things they don't want us to know about, citing this video as an example of the giant. And I believe the same woman also started talking about how they're killing people who are finding gnomes. But I may be getting her confused with someone else that was talking about it. People legitimately are believing in fairy tales again. We're going so far backwards. Charlie working for the government. I'm trying to keep you guys from the truth. You're not ready for giants. Those fucking bastards. Filthy monsters they are. I'm doing you a favor. You're not ready to... You can't handle it. Now, looking into it, there was an obituary posted for this individual from a local news source. So it is possible that he did pass away in early 2022, but people are attributing that death to a mysterious circumstance, and it being the CIA that took him out, like it was fucking Jack Bauer on a vendetta to kill this man because he had seen a giant. Why? Well, I don't know. That's not a question that ever gets asked in these situations. Just going through any natural thought process here and breaking it down, what would the government have to gain from hiding giants? Unless they have some kind of secret alliance with the giant tribe, there's just absolutely no reason they'd want to shut this shit down, put the kibosh on it. Or unless if you look at a giant in the eyes, it gives you eternal life or something and the government's hoarding that to themselves, or their urine acts like the fountain of youth. Just nothing adds up here when you start connecting the dots. This isn't like a Men in Black situation where they're hiding aliens by going around and neuralizing everyone who sees alien activity, where the excuse there is they don't want people to panic. When it comes to giants, that'd be the hardest thing in the world to keep the lid on. Like the cat would get out of the bag so quickly, because it's a fucking giant. They're huge. They're enormous. This one, assuming Patient Zero here was truly a giant, this one was spotted on top of a mountain fucking 40 miles away. So you'd have a real tough time. You'd have your work cut out for you to keep that under wraps. It just, like, and even if there were giants, the existence of them probably wouldn't cause a panic on the same level as, like, aliens or anything. There's absolutely no reason for the government to be hiding the existence of giants. And I can't believe I even have to say that. I feel like I'm having a conversation with, like, the D&D club at a middle school.
I think that's that same vehicle from... Hey!
Now let's break down this little humdinger here. People use this video as proof that the CIA was hunting him down and stalking him because he made this video. He's very clearly leaning into it if you ask me. But let's do a basic thought experiment here. How likely is it that this is staged? Very. It got millions of views, so there's real incentive to play on it. How easy would it be to fake? Extremely. All you need is your friend to sit in a car outside and then drive away when you come out and yell at them. Like, just look at the video. There's just a random car out there with their lights on. So if they're stalking, they're doing a terrible job. They're just sitting right in plain view outside of his house with their lights on. That'd be the worst tale ever. They would be fired from the CIA immediately because they're fucking terrible at their job. Like, at that point, the CIA might as well have a sign out there saying, "We're watching you. Honk if you like government surveillance." Like, this would be genuinely the worst stalking ever from the CIA. And then the guy comes outside and scares the car away like a flock of pigeons on the beach. It's an extremely easy thing to stage. Where's the proof that that is some kind of unmarked CIA vehicle and an operative in there stalking him? The video just starts where he looks out the blinds and the car's already just sitting there in front of his house with his lights on. I think this is so clearly staged in order to play off of the success of the Giant video, because it got a lot of attention and a lot of engagement. Now, he hasn't posted on TikTok since 2022, and like I said, there is an obituary posted in a local news source, so it is very possible he did pass away, but I will tell you right now, I highly, highly, highly doubt the government had anything to do with that. Because, again, there's no such thing as fucking giants out there. Sorry to ruin Christmas, but it's the truth. It's a tough pill to swallow, but one you've got to grow up and take right now. I would love if there were giants out there. No one would be happier than me. I would absolutely be ecstatic to learn that giants really are out there and they're coming back. You know, and then they start their own sports league or something. It'd be amazing. I'd be super excited about that. I'd also love if there was a such thing as psychics and telekinetic abilities, as well as being able to form a Kamehameha ball in the palm of my hands if I focus real hard. I would love all of that kind of fantasy shit to be real. But it's not. So there's just nothing the government would do here about a man filming a video claiming he saw a giant, because giants aren't real. So they're not gonna fucking care. It's not like he actually exposed a government secret. They'd have no reason to go silence him. This is just a wild case of people believing anything and everything they see, for no reason other than they have fun believing it. And then they fight tooth and nail for it, even when they are faced with the absolute truth of what the situation is. It's wild. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. I'm sure most of you have heard of the carnivore diet by now. It's not exactly so much a diet anymore as it is just a full-blown personality that people adopt, a full lifestyle now where their whole identity is, I only eat meat. And oftentimes it consists of consuming a lot of raw meat. And I've always just been fascinated by this raw meat eating community because I just don't get how they're not, like, plagued by trichinosis and infested with countless tapeworms, like an absolute nightclub of tapeworms in their gut. Because for me, if I eat a potato chip that's one day past the sell-by date, I get sick. Like, I get an irpy stomach. But meanwhile, they're out there consuming fermented meat that they leave out in the sun until it becomes what they call high meat, which is literally just fucking rotted poison meat. And they'll just eat that and they're totally fine somehow. It blows my mind. But anyway, I'm getting carried away. The reason I'm talking about carnivores today is because there's one that's blowing up on TikTok right now because they've made a spectacle out of their meat eating. And make no mistake, this guy eats more meat than an Aiden Ross fan. He's posted like hundreds of TikToks now doing like these goofy meat eating stunts. And I call them stunts, but it's not like he's doing a backflip while eating a beef liver or something like that. The stunts he does is like, I'll cook a steak in a sink and then I'll eat it and shit like that. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of the content because it's been getting big on Twitter as well. I had to cut out the music, but it's him making this steak in a sink and then eating a stick of butter with it. It's revolting. I couldn't imagine a worse meal or an easier way of contracting some kind of foodborne illness. But this is the content. He is legitimately consuming that. He's not spitting it out, he seems to be enjoying it as if this is an average meal for him that makes his tummy smile. Like, it is mind-blowing. And don't you worry, of course this guy is going to be a member of the Clean Plate Club. He gets every morsel of food in there. I do want to point out that it's extremely possible and even highly likely that he didn't actually eat the steak that was being cooked by the hot water in the sink. We don't see him grab that steak and put it on the plate. He could have swapped that out for a normally cooked steak. But I mean, he still ate a full fucking stick of butter in that case, which is just a gross idea in and of itself. And I wanted to talk about it because not only is it just wild and wacky, but I'm also pretty sure the guy behind the account is very self-aware with what he's doing and he's just made it like his gimmick. But what's crazy is he's so committed to the bit in the character that he actually does eat raw testicles. He eats full sticks of butter. He actually consumes it. But I'm almost confident, like 100% confident, that he knows it's like a joke and he's playing a character. I've never seen someone do so much method acting in my life, if that is truly the case, if I'm correct about that. Like, he has made his carnivore diet more of like a freak show thing. So he's making testicle butter pops, where he takes a raw testicle, puts a stick of butter in it, and bites it, for example.
Guys, if you have never had a testicle butter dog, you need to try this. Raw testicle with a little sliver of butter on the inside. There is seriously nothing better. This is going to give you all the signaling molecules to get you bucked up, and the healthy fats support your brain and your hormones. This is my favorite snack.
I'd also like to point out here that it's extremely possible he spit that out right after the TikTok finished. He just projectile vomited it out. We don't actually see him swallow it. I really do think, based on the way he talks and some of the things he says in the videos, that this whole thing is supposed to be a comedy persona that he's adopted and fucking giving his all to, out there at 110%. I'd like to give you an example on what I think is like the most obvious case of him kidding around with this whole thing, but it's very weird even still. Even if I'm right, it's still weird regardless. But this is a video he made where it's like some kind of bull penis snack.
Silly rabbit, Pizzles are for kids. Today we're making my favorite breakfast cereal, Penguinz0. This will have the kids begging for it. By now you guys know I'm a huge fan of bull pizzle recipes, so all you're going to do, you guys know this by now, you're going to put your penis in a pot of boiling water. And it's going to take a while, so be patient. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And before I do anything, I always rub my pee-pee with butter. And then you're going to cut it up nice and fine. Again, nobody wants to choke on the pizzle, so make sure they are nice and small. And this one still had a little junk in the tubes, but that's totally fine. It just adds to the flavor, and it just tastes so good, in my opinion. And once you're done, you're just going to add it to your bowl, and you can add a little bit of milk, but I like it straight. Let me know how you like this recipe.
I think it's super creepy that he keeps mentioning kids when talking about the penis snack, saying that the kids will be begging for it. I think that's super creepy regardless of the intention of the videos. But I do think this one is a clear demonstration that this is all supposed to be a bit because it's so over the top. Also, I think it's very important to notice that he made a cut. So he did have bull penis. He had that whole fucking bull wiener, and he did cut it up, put it in a bowl. But when he was digging around with the spoon, there was a cut right before he had the spoon in his mouth. So I think there's a very real case that he didn't actually eat any of it. So I do think there is a case to be made that quite a few of these videos he's made are fake and meant to troll. Like, maybe even taking the piss out of raw meat eating to a certain degree. There are some that he doesn't fake, though, which is why it's so odd, because there are some where he does eat tons and tons of meat, and he does, like, every time I've seen, finish a fucking stick of butter to himself, but maybe that's his superpower. He's like a fucking X-Men whose only mutation was the ability to polish off entire sticks of butter solo by itself. So, I mean, maybe he was just blessed with that ability, but regardless, some of them I am just going to call out. They're not real. We don't actually see him swallow a lot of the raw meat stuff, especially the raw testicle stuff. One of them is just deceptive, where we don't actually see him eat the Penguinz0 or any of that. So some of them are fake, but not all of them.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a testicle? Well, that's what we're going to find out today, because we're making testy pops. These are testicle lollipops. All you need is a raw testicle. Cut it up into 3 little bits. It's pretty simple, and this is very, very tasty. I personally love these. Lay them out on your parchment paper, and you're going to need some toothpicks and a little gloop of honey on each one. The kids are going to love these. Once you put enough honey on it, throw them in the freezer, and then you'll have the answer to how many licks does it take to get to the center of a testicle? Well,
yeah, every time he mentions a penis recipe, he mentions kids with it. Every single time, pretty much. It's fucking weird. It's pretty disturbing. Now, in this case with the testicle pops, again, we don't see him swallow it. He does you know, take a lick of the old testicle pop. But I was expecting an old Tootsie Pop commercial where the kid gives it to an owl. How many licks to get to the center? A 1, a 2, a 3, and then takes a bite of it. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't actually swallow it, eat it, anything like that. He just puts it in his mouth for like a second. So again, I think this is a case of he probably spit it right out instantly afterward.
This is what happens when you eat 4 pounds of ground beef and sticks of butter every single day for months. And no, I'm not exaggerating. This is my carnivore diet dirty bulk. Starting out at 185 back in August, 3% body fat, visible abs. And this is me today at 205 pounds, feeling a little out of shape. But for the past 6 months, we have been way overeating. I'm talking sticks of butter wrapped in prosciutto, tablespoons of maple syrup on everything I eat multiple times a day, beef tongue on white rice, and these are all very nutrient dense foods. I was just overeating them for every single meal for months on end. And keep in mind, I really wasn't doing any weightlifting over this period. I was just doing a lot of rowing. Here's me out at lunch having a stick of butter. I would actually do this.
This is another one that showcases, like, there are times where he legitimately does consume the food that's on his plate. Like, that 3 pounds of beef and a full stick of butter, he does eat all of that. And he doesn't have a beverage. He makes sure to point that out, saying no bev. And he's right. He doesn't have anything to lubricate the gears there. He just straight up eats all of that. And then he does shove a stick of butter right down his gullet in public. The confidence to do something like that is almost admirable. But then there is an example of one where he doesn't swallow. That's the butter wrapped in raw meat or whatever. I already forgot what it was. But like that's another one where we don't see him like actually eat that or anything. So I don't know. I feel like there are real videos in here, but sprinkled throughout there are the more outrageous ones where he's clearly not actually finishing those. Like those are all put on for the sake of the quick TikTok and that's it. Like the Penguinz0 I'm going to harp on quite heavily because there is a cut. We don't actually ever even see him eat a Penguinz0. So he probably faked that entire one right there. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about him a little bit because it's still fascinating. If this is all a character and a gimmick, that I think it is because a lot of the videos seem a little more blatant than others. There's one where he's talking about like taking Trin and shit that's clearly like very tongue-in-cheek, but there are some where it's like, maybe this guy actually does eat this way. It's just a very interesting situation that I thought was at least worth mentioning, and yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. What I want to talk about today is something extremely infuriating, so if you're in a good mood right now, I tell you, you better kiss that thing goodbye because there will be no happiness left after this topic. I've talked about for a while that TikTok has rotted the minds of all of its users and convinced them that they're the main characters of the entire world and everything that happens around them is just a prop that they can use to get views and clout on TikTok. And today I learned about an absolute piece of shit named Alex Bodger. Alex Bodger pulled a Logan Paul. You remember when Logan Paul filmed the dead body in the Japan suicide forest and tried to use it as like the subject of his video, like, whoa, that's a dead body. He killed himself. What the fuck is this? You know, like I'm still surprised Logan Paul didn't start slapping Maverick merch on the corpse. Like he was really playing into it and using it as if it was some kind of great thing for him for views as a viral video. Well, Alex Bodger took a play out of Logan Paul's playbook, but even amplified it. So the situation was, there was an argument that happened at a Starbucks. A father had asked a stranger to stop vaping near his 3-year-old daughter. The stranger got very upset and it escalated into a murder. He stabbed the father right in front of his daughter and he bled out and died right there at the Starbucks. Taking the life of an innocent father all because he asked you to stop vaping for a minute is horrifying. What an unhinged, evil monster. It's such a trivial thing. Just, hey bud, can you just stop vaping for just a minute or two? Like my daughter's right here and it's making us a bit uncomfortable. Like that, there was just no reason this should have ever escalated at all to begin with. Dude must have been vaping stupid juice. He threw his life away as well. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison for this murder, as he should. Just an awful and sad situation, and it really does blow my mind reading stories like this, where someone kills over something so small. Like, there was just no reason to even be upset in the first place that this guy asked you to stop vaping. What's the big fucking deal? Just stop vaping for a couple of minutes. It makes no fucking sense to me. Now, where does Alex Bodger come into play? Well, Alex Bodger was nearby and saw the scuffle starting, and he immediately started filming it and caught the stabbing, at least the last part of it. So he walked over to watch the guy bleed out, and as he's bleeding out, he just keeps saying, "Man just got stabbed. He's dead, bro. He's dead." And then he's getting like multiple angles, like he was trying to film a fucking 360 video of this for TikTok. He makes no attempt at all to do anything helpful to the situation, like calling authorities or anything even remotely useful to trying to help at all. It's all just about his TikTok video for him. I clearly can't show you the video, it's very bloody and very disturbing, but I'll play the audio from when he walks over, and it only gets worse from here because he continues to film and he gets more and more excited that he just filmed the man's death.
Man stabbed, bro, right here. Right here. This guy just stabbed this guy, man. This guy just stabbed him, bro. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead, bro. He's dead, bro.
After filming his passing, he then turns the camera to himself to make a, like, selfie vlog out of it, which is why we now have this infamous picture of Alex Bodger. He's doing, like, the actual Twitch pog face with the dead, bloodied body right behind him. He couldn't stop himself from smiling and pretty much giggling. He was cheering on this death like he was at a fucking sports game.
Such a chaos, Sonios. This motherfucker just died, bro. He just died, bro. Holy fuck.
TikTok has just created an entire generation of absolutely fucking useless losers like Alex Bodger. Does nothing to help the situation and somehow uses a tragic murder as some kind of clout goblin scheme to make a viral video out of it. Now, luckily there is still some shred of hope for at least some TikTok users, because this guy got fucking dunked on so hard he deactivated all of his shit because everyone was bullying him for being this subhuman piece of shit that he is. So that's good at least. He even went back the next day in order to smoke a cigarette where this guy had been killed. Which is some real psychopath shit. I bet this guy really thought in his little smooth brain that this instance was going to be his ticket to the big time, the big leagues, the upper echelon of TikTok fame. He would be the guy that filmed the murder, I guess.
Starbucks stabbing fam. So I'm walking down the road. I thought I see a street fight. I thought it was just a street fight, right? So I start running over there, I start videotaping.
This guy actually just looks like he's cosplaying as a generic psychopath. I don't know how to explain it, but just by taking one look at him, I know he lives alone in an apartment and abuses his pets. He addresses the viewers as the Starbucks stabbing fam. I guess that's what he's trying to call his community, or lack thereof a community. It's pretty clear that he doesn't actually think this is a serious situation at all. This video is supposed to be like his defense, his side of the story, explaining it, you know, getting to the truth of it. You've all misunderstood me, and, you know, that kind of deal. But it's really not that at all. And at no point does he even address why he decided not to even try and help or call authorities or anything and just sit there and film. I really thought this was just going to be a standard cookie-cutter influencer apology video, complete with the fake tears true combo, but it's something very different.
And I see some blood, and so I just thought maybe like there was a bloody nose or something. My brain wasn't really allowing me to believe what just happened. And I knew he was dead, but at the same time, and so like this is my first time ever experiencing this, right? So like my brain's just like, he's dead, like and so I just start screaming because I don't know what the fuck else to do. The murderer is standing right there. All that's going through my head is like, holy fuck, I'm standing right here screaming he's dead while the murderer is right there. What if he comes at me and fucking kills me?
Oh, brother, we got it all wrong. He was afraid, clearly. You know, the murderer was right there, and this guy was concerned that maybe the murderer would come and kill him. He was so afraid that he stood there and continued to film the whole thing, including filming the murderer, while delivering play-by-play commentary as the father died in front of him. And then still continued to sit there filming and then turning it into a selfie vlog style where he starts pogging and laughing. It looked like he really was afraid, and now he's explained it, and now it makes sense. You know, he was like a deer in the headlights, afraid for his own life, clearly.
But I'm in so much shock, I'm just standing there doing this. And then I had what I thought was the most controversial thought of my life, which it was controversial, where I'm gonna say Satsy Kesanias. This motherfucker, but the motherfucker just, that part, like that smile on my face, that was out of uncomfort. I was so uncomfortable, I didn't know what just happened. Like, that's how I always am in uncomfortable situations. I put a little bit of a smile on my face, you know? And like,
I fucking hate the way this guy talks. He is talking like he's still trying to woo TikTok girls with this shit. Absolute weirdo. He's putting that little, like, what's it called, vocal fry in his speech, even though I know he has a lisp and is trying extremely hard to hide it here with all of this. And he's still taking, like, trying to make these, like, flattering angles while talking about filming this guy dying and cheering it on. I'm surprised he didn't start, like, sticking his tongue out and biting his bottom lip, because he even did, like, the generic, and, like, you know, that kind of garbage. What an absolute fucking creepy douchebag. Now, for what it's worth, I know that for some people in a traumatic or scary situation, they cope with it with, like, a smile or something. That's not what he did here. Like, that's not the same response. Not only were you laughing and smiling, you turned the whole thing into, like, a song and dance for you, for your content. You turned it into content. That's not just being uncomfortable and smiling. You literally turned the camera around to film you and the dead body like you were at a goddamn spring break concert. Like, it's not the same. Like, you can't even come close to making a convincing argument that, well, actually, I was just uncomfortable, which is why I was smiling and, you know, started vlogging. It's how I deal with trauma.
I'm sorry for the people that it pissed off. I've been called by the homicide unit. I shared my grief. Like, yeah, like, this shit, it doesn't faze me too much, only because, like, I've seen, like, I'll just say human life, to me, the way I look at it, if I don't know you is meaningless. It's meaningless. I'm just keeping it straight up, but, yeah, he's dead, what can we do now?
What a totally normal person thing to say. Human life, to me, if I don't know you, is meaningless. Oh, that's something not, you know, concerning to hear at all. That's not like a giant red flag. I'm also very curious where his brain was going when he said, like, it doesn't faze him too much because he's seen, and then he cut himself off. Also interesting that he contradicts himself, because he stated that he was, like, traumatized by the event, saying that every time he thinks about the situation, he gets a feeling in his chest of pure fear. But in this video, he's puffing out his chest and, you know, fucking spreading his lats like a bat, like he's such a big, strong man that this kind of thing doesn't faze him. So that's weird. What is it? Were you fazed by it, or does it not matter to you at all? And even in this video, said he shared his grief. Well, what grief? You already said you weren't really fazed by it, and since you didn't know the guy, his life had no meaning to you. So what the fuck are you talking about? I really feel like this guy has no actual human emotion whatsoever and is trying his best to put on some kind of show to prove he does, but it's very unsuccessful. The whole thing fucking sucks. This guy is an actual piece of shit and it infuriated me, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Horrible, horrible situation, and that's really about it. So yeah. Fear of the unknown is probably the most popular fear on the planet. I feel like most people are afraid of things they don't fully understand. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. And I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this, but I am fascinated and disturbed by a very popular branch of TikTok live streaming content that's blowing up right now. I'm like a dog when you get a vacuum cleaner out. I cower in fear because I really don't understand it. Now, TikTok live streams already have a reputation for being horrible. It's just an absolute wasteland. It's full of trash, more so than a landfill. I don't think there's ever even accidentally been a good TikTok live stream, except for the time a ton of people were illegally rebroadcasting the Super Bowl on there. Just going onto that platform to watch live streams is like going to an active war zone to tiptoe around landmines, but in this case, there's no safe spot to tiptoe. You always hit a landmine of fucking cringe.
Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ooh. Ice cream so good. Yeah, strong woman. Balloon. Yeah, strong woman.
This is what we're here to talk about. This is some kind of NPC live streaming trend where TikTok creators go live and then just act like NPCs here. Someone really summed it up best by saying that This feels like someone canceling combos in a fighting game. She just keeps randomly emoting like if you're spamming taunts in Chivalry 2 or in like Super Smash Bros. Melee. Show me your moves. Show me your moves. Show me your moves. I don't know how long she streams for, but it's gotta be fucking exhausting. It is non-stop jingling keys with no breaks. Because she's smart. She knows that on TikTok, kids leave if there's even a split second of dead air. Silence is the #1 enemy on TikTok. Silence is the devil. It's like the opposite of a quiet place where you have to be quiet to keep monsters away. This is the loud fucking doofusville platform where you have to be making as much noise as possible and stimulation out the wazoo or else people immediately turn it off. Which is why most popular videos have like 5 different tiny videos inside of them, like cutting soap in half with a knife, or the loud sounds of 5 trash cans being slammed together like cymbals while Temple Run's playing on the bottom right and GTA 5's on the top left. And she's come up with a more effective money-making strategy than free armor trimming in RuneScape. She is constantly acting out tips. So, people tip her, and she acts out the associated emoji with it, which incentivizes more people to keep tipping, which keeps supplying the stream with the NPC content.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, strong woman. Yes, strong woman. Slay, huh? Oh, take your gaps. I love you. Slay, huh? Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Yes, strong woman. Brr. Fire. Butterfly. Beautiful. Okay. Fire. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Oh, where's my feet? Ooh, gang, 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 gang. Yes, popcorn. Gang, 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 gang. Fire. Gang, gang. Pop. Amazing. Ooh.
For those that don't know how it works, on TikTok, they're so quirky and raw XD random that instead of just donating to a creator on live, you tip them with like emojis. So you give them like some roses or a dragon or a galaxy or a lemon or some shit like that. And then the creator can take this random assortment of Microsoft clip art and then turn it into money. So that's what's happening here. She's getting these tips and then she's just doing a short little performance with the tips as like an NPC. And on TikTok, it seems like people are constantly tipping. It seems like one of people's favorite pastimes on TikTok lives is giving away all of the money they have to their name. Like, these kids are like 12 years old and just give their whole allowance to TikTok creators in order for an actual split second of acknowledgement. So here, she doesn't actually like acknowledge the donators. She just acknowledges the dumbbell, for example. And she'll do like a little performance when you tip a dumbbell. I don't know how much money that is. Fucking 5 glue bucks or something. I have no idea what the conversion rate in money to emote is on TikTok. But that's the whole strategy, and it's very effective. She's not the only one doing it, but she is the most popular right now. And she is engaging in a bit of whimsical silliness by having a hair iron out and popping individual popcorn kernels with it. So that's just another, like, piece of the puzzle here for keeping people hooked on it, because it's so weird and wacky that it makes it mysterious and mystical. Like, oh my god, she's cooking popcorn with a hair iron, kernel by kernel, slowly? Why, I gotta message my friends to turn off the Finger Family videos. We gotta get in here quickly. They gotta see this. She's cooking popcorn with a hair iron. There's nothing like it. You don't want to miss it. So it works out really well because it's a combination, a perfect storm, a geostorm for everything that works on TikTok. Perpetual stimulation while, you know, being able to constantly spam the emotes and talking so there's never any silence, while also having that, like, XD random with the popcorn and hair iron, which is something that does very well on TikTok. So she's fucking crushing it. Now there's a lot of copycats doing it. So the big trend is a ton of TikTok creators like her doing this exact same performance, and they all do well, but she's by far the biggest. So they like move around, like they have idle animations. It's like you're on the Choose Your Fighter screen in Mortal Kombat, but for them, the only fatality they have is fucking cringe.
Yes, you got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me read it, huh? Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ice cream so good. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Yes, yes, yes. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ice cream so good. Oh, take it, I am. You got me feeling like a queen, huh? Slay, huh? Slay, huh? Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ice cream so good. Balloon. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Oh, what is that? Gang, gang. Balloon. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ice cream so good.
If this isn't evidence of people's brains devolving thanks to TikTok, I don't know what is. This is the purest example of what's happening with your brain on TikTok, where now all you need is just noise and you're entertained. Again, it's the same performance every time. She has a set list of how she responds to the emotes, and she doesn't deviate from it, and she very rarely breaks character. She only broke character one time over the last, like, 4 days I've seen this, and it was brief, very brief, like, actually just 5 seconds, and then right back into it. There's no interaction. There's nothing beyond just seeing the same emotes over and over again. It's like if you watched a 10-hour compilation of the same 5 Fortnite emotes repeated forever. And you keep tuning in every day and you're giving money to it in order to keep fueling the perpetual motion machine. Very smart on her end, but man, I don't get how she is like averaging 40,000 viewers all watching the same performance every fucking day. It's mind-blowing to me. It's baffling. Nothing but respect to the creators capitalizing off of this here, but nothing but shame for seeing the state that entertainment for young people is in. I was just talking about Skibbity Toilet yesterday, like actually applauding it by saying, finally, a piece of content I think is pretty solid in a sea of dog shit content for kids. There was finally something like a bright light at the end of the tunnel with Skibbity Toilet, finally something that looked like maybe good content still exists for kids. And then immediately I started jumping into this rabbit hole with the NPC live streams, and I'm right back to where I started, where I feel like every single kid is doomed to failure for the rest of their life thanks to their brain being rotted by TikTok. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I found it pretty interesting and obviously kind of goofy. So that's about it. So yeah. There was something oh, Gunner. I saw Gunner posted a new video. I didn't see what it was on though. The Addison Rae train wreck reality show. Addison Rae Goes Home. I don't remember. Is that the one that's like a bunch of influencers in a house or some shit?
TikTok star who broke the mainstream and now has her very own terrible reality TV show on Snapchat. Because who doesn't love watching TV vertically, where for every 10 seconds of show, you get 15 seconds of ads? What a deal. On the upside, it makes it easier for teens to go back and forth. She was in an awful movie last year. She's been making music. She's in commercials.
Wait, I love awful influencer movies. What was that one? He's All That, I think?
She was in an awful...
He's All That. Addison Rae and... Who the fuck is Tanner Buchanan? This looks like Jay Schlatt when he uses that attractive man filter. Is this a real human being or like an android? Has anyone seen this? Thanks to Give Sub Speed Razor and the resub Agate Rock and Rex. Thank you for that. We're watching some goofy shit. Let's see what this is. I'll probably watch this. I love these awful movies. I really do. He's All That is an American 2021 romantic teen comedy film directed by Mark Waters. We got any Mark Waters fans in here? What's he made? Mark Waters is the genius behind such bangers like Magic Camp, Bad Santa 2, I know that one, Vampire Academy, and Mr. Popper's Penguinz. Oh, and Sorry Haters and Mean Girls. And Freaky Friday. Whoa! And Freaky Friday. Wait just a minute.
Just look at that cover picture. Of course, she's on her phone, probably making a TikTok, working, looking an awful lot more southern than usual, laying on a pile of hay or grass or just general debris. Addison Rae returns to her roots in Louisiana.
That is a cool picture.
It's brought me a lot of love, but with that comes a lot of hate.
Oof.
She's talking about us.
Now, I'll be going back home to Louisiana for a week with my mom, dad. I wonder if it'll be like it used to.
It's a single.
What a weird premise. What? What? Well, now that I'm super rich and famous, I have to wonder, will I be able to mingle with the plebeians again, or am I just too far above them to comprehend that kind of poor nature? I'll have to find out by experimenting in the swamp. What is the idea of this show? Isn't she like 20 years old and she's only been doing TikTok for like a year and a half, 2 years or something? Why wouldn't she fit in all of a sudden? If she doesn't fit in, it's because she's the fucking problem.
Still nervous to see my friends and family who knew me before everything. I just hope they remember I'm the same person they've always known.
What are you Hannah Montana movie. I've only seen the show, but big facts. The premise of that.
It's like she's fucking Jekyll and Hyde or like Bruce Wayne and Batman. My parents or my family knew me before I became TikTok famous. Now they won't even recognize me. I've undergone a metamorphosis into a beautiful butterfly of clout.
Growing up, my family and I ate a shit ton of crawfish.
So
on Snapchat saying shit? That's kind of big.
How did you like handle that public breakup? Like, what did you do to like, okay, I'm okay, everything's gonna be fine.
What a normal conversation.
Like, not falling apart. Has like being in that public relationship before changed your opinion on like when you want to pursue a new relationship?
Man, what are you, like a spy or something?
This isn't how friends ask questions. I will now rephrase that question into how Addison Rae's 21-year-old friend would actually ask it.
Oh man, he's method acting. He's going in.
So do you and Bryce still fuck? End scene. Thank you.
Damn, this guy's good.
Thank you. Good night. I was just dancing in my room and now I use $100 bills as napkins. Feels weird and scary. Am I being provocative again? Absolutely. I just think narrated slow-mo shots of you looking introspective might be the worst way to come off relatable. But that's what this show is all about, right? Addison appearing to be relatable. So
What is this? Can you look at like Snapchat numbers? I'm curious. Do people actually watch this and enjoy it? What was this called again? Addison Rae Going Ghost? Oh, you can like individually subscribe to shows on Snapchat. So her show has 497,000 subscribers. Is there like reviews? Well, there it has to be because he brought one up. Because I don't even understand who this is supposed to appeal to. Because let's say I'm an 8-year-old girl. I'm a big Addison Rae fan. Why the fuck am I gonna watch her just go home? What is there for, like, I'm there to just watch her do TikTok trendy dances. Why the fuck do I care if she goes home? Kids don't care, man. I guess, but I remember when I was a kid, I still, like, watched things where, like, things happen. This is, granted, we've only seen clips here. This is literally nothing happening. It's slow-mo shots, and then, I guess, an interview? Do people not review these things? Because I can't find shit. I did. I even typed in just general review to see what critics are saying, but no one's even mentioning it. Closest thing I found is this guy who wrote an article with a quote from her saying, "A lot of people say I dropped out of school for TikTok, and I don't think I dropped out of school for TikTok. It was because I knew that this was a career path that I've always wanted to pursue, kind of, in the entertainment industry." But you were literally saying right there that you dropped out for TikTok. People are confused by that, and they think I dropped out because of the app, but it was really to focus on pursuing my career in the entertainment industry and moving out here too. On TikTok. You dropped out for TikTok. It was your entertainment industry. I don't know why she's like embarrassed of it. Just like embrace it. She's made a very successful career out of it, and I can't find any reviews, so I'm just going to assume everyone loves it.
Gussie, one of my best friends growing up and still today.
I'm sorry, Gussie? Her name's Gussie? I'm not
No, it's a
5%
nickname.
Sure you made that up to make her look more grounded in Louisiana. You see, I actually looked up the number of babies named Gussie over the years. On this chart, notice how it kind of stops in 1952. I guess one slipped through the cracks.
Regardless of everything that's happened in the past, got me. It's so rare to find a friendship like we have. That's what I feel like I've been struggling with.
Why are they both wearing cowboy hats in the rain?
Be able to feel like not judged. Even people that I know
on a
right now,
picnic.
like, it's hard to find people to trust, like truly, because a lot of people don't have your best interest or like will use things against you. Like my vulnerability and like kindness have been taken advantage of so many times in LA.
My sister in Christ, let her speak. Your best friend so far has said,
We were definitely the girls at school that were a little bit different.
Thanks for some Darren
we
and
liked
Toad.
photo shoots together and liked the same type of music.
we were definitely the weird girls in school. We took pictures, we liked music, we were the outcasts of society. Where'd you go to school, Addison? Rikers? You just named the most basic bitch shit and claimed it as personality. Sometimes on the weekend, we would go to the mall and get
That is
Chick-fil-A
pretty
with
wild.
fries. We were crazy. I thought you were
loose cannons.
series. You're losing me.
We used to literally do photo shoots every day.
That is pretty unique.
And they were cool. Remember we like dreamt about LA forever.
know.
Since 8th
What are
grade.
these conversations?
How can we get there?
How can we get there now?
Well, you can always come whenever you want. Just let me know your dates and I'll write you in the calendar.
Ugh, remember when we dreamed of living in LA and now I'm there and you're still here? I'll calendar you in though, and we'll review it, and someone will reach out.
That's the way to do it.
Know if maybe I'm free. Oh my god, actually we could use
Gussie's following
another
isn't big
assistant
enough.
for my TikToks.
They won't allow her in
Oh my
California.
god, you could graduate high school, get famous, move from home, and your parents come with you to ride off your success. I don't entirely blame them. They saw she was making money. Your parents come
Wait,
with you
what
to
is
ride off
mom
your
doing
success.
over?
I don't
Jesus
entirely
Christ.
blame them. They saw she was making
fucking
money.
busting it wide
and
open.
you can suck one. We're coming for the Hollywood Hills. Brother Enzo Lopez joined season 7 cast of Chicken Girls. Thanks, Just Jared Jr., for pummeling into this kid that he's only known as Addison Rae's brother.
So after
God, isn't that the fucking worst? I see that shit all the time for like those celebrity siblings. Where the fuck is that headline? There it is. They do that for like everyone. Oh, there was one I just read. And no, not E-Rob, Tyler's brother. What the fuck was it? Oh my god. Hold on, this is gonna make me really upset. Not the Hemsworth. You guys know there is a third Hemsworth brother, though? There's Liam, Chris, and then one other guy. I don't know his name.
Be sure to subscribe and turn post notifications on, as well as follow me on Instagram at Gunner Klein. I heard that account is giving off major Sagittarius vibes these days. And consider becoming a member on Patreon so you can help fund my reality TV show, Gunner Goes to Vegas. That's another joke. I prefer Miami. With that said, good day,
y'all. Whoa, what the fuck?
Please go check on Gussie now.
Nobody prefers Miami. Jesus. Man sleeps with his socks on and prefers Miami? I mean, I guess Miami is better than, like, hell, I suppose. Maybe. I don't know. That'd even be a tight race. That was another banger, though, from Gunner. I love TikTok finance gurus. It's this beautiful cornucopia of cringe where they offer some of the worst advice you'll ever hear. Sometimes it's even just blatant to try and make you lose as much money as possible. Other times it's to promote some kind of scam where you pay them for mumbo jumbo. That one always just blows my mind because you are actually failing step one of being more financially independent by just wasting money on a guy who is actually just using you as a little piggy bank to exploit by telling you things that you want to hear. Whispering sweet nothings into your ear that are going to do nothing but have you keep paying him so you can keep suckling on his bosom of nonsense. Those always fascinate me. Today I want to focus on an outrageously stupid lesson that a finance guru tried to teach recently. This comes from Grant Cardone, whom I'm not overly familiar with. I've seen a couple of his seminars because he always gets clowned on pretty much any time he opens his mouth. I'll go ahead and show you his most infamous clip from 2 years ago.
If I made $400 grand a year, I would be embarrassed with myself as a husband, a father, basically as a human being. 400 grand. How do you make sense of $35,000 a month? You guys haven't done the math. You have not done the math because you cannot live on 400 grand a year.
Probably one of the most out-of-touch statements I've ever heard. That's up there with Ubisoft claiming that their pirate game, Bone of Thieves or something, Bone on the Water, what is it called? Skull and Bones, since they claim that that was the first quadruple A game ever made. Like, it is shocking just how delusional that statement is here from Grant Cardone. Now, I'm not dumb enough to think that he really believes that. This is one of those tough love approaches that a lot of gurus take because for some reason, some desperate men have like a humiliation kink where they want to be like talked down to and belittled. Like, you should be embarrassed as a man if you're not making 400 grand a year. Like, yeah, you're right, Grant, I really should be. Yeah, come on, keep telling me how fucking naughty I am for not making that much money. So he's just going through this grifting where it's like, if you're not making 400 grand a year, you're subhuman, you're a worm, you're pathetic, you make me sick. One of you come up here so I can beat your ass for not making 400 grand actually, please. The shit he's spouting is so over the top that I think it's pretty obvious that he doesn't actually believe any of it. $35,000 a month he claims you can't live off of. The fucking citizens of Narnia would recognize that that's a ton of money to be living off of, and they wouldn't even be familiar with our currency. So the point is, he's just saying the things he thinks people want to hear from this audience in order to try and make money off of them. Now, Grant Cardone made all of his money through real estate. He made an absolute killing, and he's a multi-millionaire now. And so he's changed his target to basically just trying to take advantage of desperate people that are looking to him to try and improve their financial security. But I'll tell you one thing, Grant Cardone is not giving you the tools to improve your financial situation. He's actually just making it worse for you because you're paying him. Like, you are losing money to get nothing in return. There's no value in any of the lessons I've ever seen him teach, especially not the one that I really want to focus on today.
Every 15-year-old kid should be doing this right now. If you're getting an allowance of $300 a month, buy a piece of real estate that pays you $30 a month. Only use the 30, don't touch the 300.
But how would a young, normal person get money?
Allowance, side jobs, side hustles. I was 14 years old. I was working every weekend. I was mowing lawns, doing whatever I could to get some extra money.
Hey, pal, you just blow in from Stupid Town? It's actually impressive just how much dog shit he was able to fit in only 20 seconds. That is an achievement, that he was able to drivel out so much trash in only 20 seconds. There's like a million things you can point out as being just blatantly wrong here. So let's go ahead and dive in. Let's perform a little colonoscopy on this. $300 a month allowance grant. Do you think that's normal? Do you think that that's the normal allowance that a child would get from their family? That is an absurdly high allowance. At that point, your family's already pretty well off. If you're getting $300 a month as a 15-year-old, why don't you just call over your butler Jeeves and ask him to grab a couple gold bricks out of the family safe? Then you've already succeeded as a millionaire. You don't even need Grant Cardone's advice on how to accomplish it. That is so fucking stupid as a number to be throwing around. But even setting aside that unrealistic pipe dream of an allowance as a 15-year-old at $300 a month, let's just say somehow you had that. Grant, as a 15-year-old, how are you going to start investing in real estate with $300 a month? You're never going to get approved for a loan as a 15-year-old that is getting $300 a month as an allowance. It's not even tied to a fucking job. So good luck finding any reputable place that's going to give you a loan for real estate. You are also 15 years old, so you can't even legally purchase real estate without someone co-signing with you. And $300 a month isn't a lot to start looking for real property. That's at best maybe like a $45,000 property that you could maybe get access to under the most unrealistic of circumstances. You're better off finding the Lucky Charms mascot's pot of gold than you are finding a house, any property at all, for $45,000 in America right now with the way the housing market is. That just doesn't fucking exist. But you know what? We'll continue to inhabit this ninth dimensional fucking wonderland that Grant Cardone's brain seems to be trapped in. Let's say you found it. You're not getting a loan. At $300 a month, you're going to have to do a down payment on this property, and that down payment's probably going to be multiple thousands of dollars, which you're not going to have from the $300 a month unless you had already previously saved up for a couple of years beforehand to afford this down payment. You can't do this. It's impossible. It's actually impossible. And Grant Cardone is a real estate multimillionaire. He knows this, but he thinks everyone that follows him is a stupid fucking bumbling Neanderthal. And he might be right, I guess, if anyone actually thinks this is legitimate advice that he spouts out of his fucking mouth. This is so foul. It's so wrong. It's unbelievable. I also hate that so many kids see this, and I bet there's a not small number of them that actually think this is what they should be doing, being told that this is what every kid needs to do in order to make money. And maybe one day down the road, against all the odds, a 15-year-old does actually succeed and become a landlord. My heart breaks whatever family has to deal with that nightmare, that hell. In between tilted tower drops on Fortnite and playing Roblox with the squad, he then goes and collects money from his tenants. Oh, God, that's so miserable to even think is a possibility. But in Grant's world, he thinks that's what kids should be doing. It's actually incredible how often the financial guru advice boils down to step 1, start rich, or step 1, don't be poor. And he's even brainwashed his own daughter. Like, she does some videos on his TikTok page, and I'm not here to, like, insult her or anything. It's definitely not her fault. She's, like, 15 years old. But her father has really convinced her that this is, like, a normal thing that every kid has access to. So she posted a video about how she's going to be a millionaire before she's 20, and gave advice to kids her own age on how to accomplish a similar feat.
I'm gonna be a millionaire before I'm 20, and this is how. I work for my dad's company. I have a contract with them, and I get paid every month. That money then goes into real estate, where I get some passive income I get to go spend.
I'm just gonna stop it right there because the entire tutorial is I work for my dad's company. That's how I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 20. And it's not like she really works for the company. She gets an allowance from her father, which is like 50 grand a year, at least according to TikTok, where he's giving her like bonuses based on performance of TikTok videos. So the advice is literally be born to a rich family. Like, that's not something most people can follow. 99% of the population is going to fail step 1 there because they literally can't just work for their dad's multi-million-dollar company. It's not feasible. And yet, this entire page, Grant Cardone's entire online career is built around selling this kind of nonsensical idea. Oh, it's so easy, everyone can be rich, just give me money and I'll unlock the secrets for you. And then the secret is basically, hey, don't be poor. Invest in real estate at 15 years old with your $300 a month allowance. What, you guys weren't doing that already? It's so easy, come on. But anyway, I just wanted to shoot some spitballs at Grant Cardone a little bit here today. That's really about it. See ya. Today I learned about an inspiring story of one man's unwavering determination in order to accomplish his dreams and then finally succeeding. It's a heartwarming, wholesome story that I'm excited to share with you, but it got me thinking about a deeper message: the value of hard work. As a YouTuber, I of course know a thing or two about back-breaking labor. Being an internet content creator is often considered one of the most physically demanding things a human being can subject themselves to on the planet, second only to maybe being a firefighter, or even third place if we're going to give second to something like a mother in labor. But even there, that's a close competition, that's neck and neck. You could have a very intense debate there on which one's harder work. You know, a mom's only giving birth like once a year, maybe. I'm giving birth every day to a brand new YouTube video. So, you know, we don't need to get into the weeds of it. The point is, going out there, entering turbo mode plus ultra and giving it 150%, just putting your best foot forward to work towards a dream is something beautiful. And for some reason, a lot of people these days are very defeatist, like, you know, kicking sand and saying, it doesn't matter how hard I work, I won't accomplish, you know, what I want to, my goals in life. And to that I say, bah humbug. I spit on that. It's like you've never watched anime and the power of never giving up. So I want to make you believe in dreams again. I want to show you the story of Josh Nally. I don't know how many of you have heard of his story, but it's pretty inspiring. Josh is a TikTok content creator who hatched an absurd idea a year ago. An idea so extreme people called him crazy. Said, this man's lost his marbles. He doesn't know his ass from his elbow. This is such a dumb idea. But you know what Josh said in response to that? Nothing. He put his head down and went on that Sigma male grind set and committed to the dream, the goal that he set for himself. You see, Josh Nally wanted to be a professional corpse. He came up with the idea of pretending to be dead every day for a year in the hopes that it would eventually land him a spot on a television show or movie as a dead body. And by golly, I'm happy to say Josh has done it. As God is my witness, Josh has pulled it off and has landed a role in a new CSI episode as a corpse. But let me walk you through the humble beginnings. It all started with a dream and a man who was brave enough to follow it. He lied face down in a small body of water as his dogs looked on concerned, and he was the most convincing dead body I'd ever seen. His acting is second to none. He looks more dead than actual mangled corpses. He somehow looks even more deceased than the legitimately dead. Josh was born with a gift, nay, a curse, that when he lie in the prone position, he is easily mistaken as dead. And he wasn't afraid to use this ability to get ahead in life. I'd like to show you a bit of a story Inside Edition just made on Josh, because I find it very touching.
This guy has been playing dead for an entire year.
Day 19.
Every day on TikTok, there's Josh Nally, yup, lifeless.
Lifeless, maybe. Dreamless, no. His faith never wavered. Anyone can act alive, but it takes a special talent to act dead, and especially to the caliber that Josh is able to perform.
Day 50, playing unalive.
Let's see if I can't maybe get into a movie or television show.
Did he say TV show? Well, guess what? It worked.
All of the hard work, the year-long commitment that Josh put into this art form paid off. He was contacted by CSI Vegas and they recognized the skill. They needed him, so they begged him, groveled at his feet, praying that he would accept their offer to be a corpse on their show. And Josh? He said yes. So he flew out to Hollywood and he got his role in the show. They got him in makeup. He's in like a body bag that's opened and he was very happy with it.
His big moment airs tonight, but we've got a sneak peek behind the scenes. Resist asking Josh to play dead one more time.
This is how I play dead.
I'm never too big of a fan of people asking someone to do like their signature move or whatever, because it just feels like that whole dance monkey dance thing, do the thing. Like, yeah, I just never really appreciate when someone does that. But when you have what Josh has, it's hard to fight that urge to ask him to play dead just one quick time. Just for the one time. And you could even see in the background, the person behind him couldn't help but peek over and take a look at Josh as he was performing his play dead stunt. I have no doubt when he does the TikToks, he draws a giant crowd. All of them scratching their chin wondering, is this man dead? And that's the whole idea of it. And honestly, I just think it's commendable. He committed to a year long of this little fun shtick. It's outrageous idea, something I've never seen done before. and he accomplished exactly what he set out to accomplish, and I think that's just overall great. But this is not the only example of hard work paying off that I'd like to highlight today. If you were on Twitch yesterday, you may have noticed a new kind of stream pop off, a particular genre that really went hard yesterday. A brand new streamer hit the scene in a big way. Her name is Eileen. Now, Eileen had a pretty interesting idea as well, to try and carve out her own niche on the platform as well as gain a lot of followers quickly. She must have been taking notes on a previous streamer I've talked about and pulled a page out of her playbook. I'm talking about the streamer who had sex on stream, got a 7-day ban, and came back bigger than ever. Well, at least bigger than she was previously. Eileen, however, didn't have sex on stream. She, instead, went fully nude and masturbated on stream, in front of 5,000 viewers, all looking on with a smile on their face and confusion in their hearts, wondering, how is this happening right now on Twitch? Or at least, that's what you were led to believe. The truth is, this channel never actually had 5,000 viewers during her masturbation. That was a claim that was falsely made on Livestream Fail. That is not the actual number. According to the Twitch tracking sites, the peak was around like 300, so that claim's wrong. But she really did spread her full asshole on stream and masturbate fully nude for the camera. And it was live for about 30 to 45 minutes based on all of the Twitch tracking sites that I've seen. That's about the average that I'm seeing. The question on everyone's mind, as they looked into Eileen's butthole, they couldn't help but wonder, how long is her ban length going to be? Because the streamer that fucked on stream got 7 days. What Eileen did wasn't super different. Is she also going to receive 7 days, or will this be a permanent ban? And I'd like to weigh in on this because I think this is a pretty open and shut case of a permaban. The account was created on November 3rd with the sole purpose of having this viral stunt. I'm pretty sure this was all manufactured from the get-go, and I'm also fairly confident that Eileen, the person in the video, was never actually like the one behind this. I would imagine this was taken from another cam site. They just took that cam girl's video and broadcast it on Twitch for this account, and then the post went viral because it's been such a talking point recently. Since there was a streamer that did fuck on stream, that was an actual streamer that did that, and it was a great publicity boost for her and she benefited from it. So I imagine the idea here was to try and make that happen again on this account. And it's somewhat worked, at least in terms of a conversation regarding Twitch's policy on sexual content. The Eileen 1 account here wasn't promoting an OnlyFans, it wasn't promoting an Instagram or anything like that, and there's nothing even linked to Eileen 1 elsewhere outside of Twitch, so this really seems like it was just like a one and done thing for the sake of having like a viral controversy, I guess. And that seems to be it. I cannot imagine Twitch says this is like a 7-day ban when it's just blatantly porn on purpose for the sake of porn. But I guess we'll see. Maybe they fall for the old excuse that's already worked a couple times of, didn't know I was live. But again, I really don't think the woman that appeared in that video was the one behind that account. I really think that it was just someone else that took the video and put it on Twitch. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, just because I find that to be a really goofy situation that was worth at least mentioning. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya.